Good morning, everyone. StripGal. We are playing some more Pokemon SoulSilver, and I realized that I missed one spot of backtracking that I had been planning to do. So, before we continue, we are with the story. We are going to take a detour over to Mount Mortar. Now, we've been over to this region once very briefly before, basically to bypass this lake when we were trying to get Heracross. We're gonna go ahead and repel. This is a bit of a weird situation because I do feel like repelling is a little bit of a waste. However, on the off chance, I just want to make sure. Now, in addition to having a Pokemon encounter that we can get a gift Pokemon here, which will be very good. Oh, that is not going to let us surf here? Not going to let us surf here. Good to know. I was looking at the maps, and the actual paths that you have accessible to you are not super clear. Try this. Okay, I guess we have to go around. My concern is that we may need rock climb to get through this completely, which you don't get until the post game. But I think we may be able to go through the front. There's another entrance in the front that we should be able to get to through the water. So we'll try that. Okay, so this entrance should take us down here. Which is the basement level. Now, I think this is the wrong way. Oh wait, no. Because we're gonna end up back here later. So rather than wander around here now, this should be that's going to be our exit point. So anyway, what I was saying about the encounters here. We have duplicates of everything except one Pokemon. And the one Pokemon we don't have, Meryl, is only a 1% chance of us getting it. So, we could not use repels and take random encounters and still have a 99% chance to get away without getting the encounter we don't want. Meryl is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon, but is not great before it is a fairy type, and is only a 50-50 chance to have the huge power ability, which also is important for it to be, good. Man, I miss the things where you just have to use the HM once per screen. I think out of all the things in Pokemon, like, there's a lot of things that have changed a lot. And mostly genuinely, I feel like most of the changes that Pokemon franchise has made as far as like mechanics go have been for the best. The one exception, or the one thing I think has changed the most for the better, is the way that HMs work. They may have gone a little too far getting rid of them completely, but at the same time, not having to worry about HMs is just so nice. Because there are, like, between taking a move slot with a often useless move, having to have that party, or that Pokemon in your party, okay, so we should be able to go one step down here, and as long as we don't go 2 steps down, we're okay. Interesting. There's a couple things that we're trying to get out of this. That is not what I was trying to get out of this, but I am very interested in seeing who can actually learn that. Because I was literally just looking at who we had as options to take out a fighting type Pokemon, and the answers were a bunch of birds, and a lot of those birds are, I mean, a lot of times the fighting types we're dealing with either have Rock Slide in the next sections, or there's a bunch of Hitmonchans that get a free Thunder Punch, and Ice Punch, both of which are obviously good against birds. Okay, if we do this one, we don't lose any progress. Dragon Scale. Okay, that's actually really important. If we can get our hands on a Horsey, we can get an evolution out of it. Okay, so this is the one I don't understand. There's spaces between them. I didn't realize there were spaces between these that you could walk between. So that was my confusion there. I'm gonna actually... We're gonna use an item I don't think I've used yet. Maybe? I've been playing too many different Pokemon games recently. I was like... I thought I had the... My brain is going metal detector, and I know that that's wrong. The item that lets you look for hidden items. Is it just the hidden item finder in this game? Item finder? Okay, so if we go here, let me make sure that I'm not missing anything quick, because it is important. I think as long as we can get back from here, this is the way we want to go. But I think I have to jump down a ledge there, which makes me nervous. So I'm going to really hope that that is not the other item I need, because if it is, I'm going to need to take a big detour. The other item I'm looking for is the Protector, because last time we set it up so that we can have a guaranteed encounter with a Rhyhorn on Victory Road. And to fully evolve that into Rhyperior, we need a Protector. We have not found one yet. I'm really hoping that it doesn't require the... There's a whole section in the middle that we haven't done yet. So there's a pretty good chance that we might still be able to do it or to get it. Karate King. So this is actually... It's not a high-level fight, but it's higher than what we've been dealing with. That is really low damage for a high jump kick miss, and I'm disappointed. So I spent a lot of time planning this party out so that I could make sure that I didn't die to this Pokemon, and I think we're just gonna be able... I think we're fast enough that we can just do this. It's gonna use Ice Punch, it misses. We use Fly. If this one-shots, we're good. And I super overthought. If it doesn't one-shot, it did. Okay. Crobat with a muscle band. Using Fly. Definitely worth it. My training is still not enough. I'll give you this rare fighting type Pokemon, but you have no room in your... Great. We have to walk all the way back. Well, the fight's done at least. As I quietly look at my Pokemon in my party and say, is there somebody here that I could just release to the wild? I don't think you can actually do that in this game while they're just in your party like that. That's fine. I know how to get there now. He gives us a Tyrogue, which means that we either get most likely a Hitmonlee, possibly a Hitmonchan, or a Hitmontop, depending on what they have, or what stats they have. There are only a few items here that we can't get. I'm really hoping that the one I want isn't one of those. Or am I misremembering? Protector on the second floor. This should be the second floor. I think. Okay, well. I don't know. Like I said, there's like 2 items that I can't get. And unfortunately, it seems to be on the second floor where the guide says that that item is. So... Looks like we do have to jump down here anyway. So I guess as long as we're jumping down anyway, let's take a quick detour out of Mount Mortar. By the way, I did a little bit more research. Apparently, I figured out what I did wrong too, as far as the Dratini goes too, so I will be grabbing that shortly. Route 42, we've already gotten our encounter. So I'm gonna go ahead and risk this. Because we just burned through a lot. It's a Goldeen. That makes me slightly sad. I just wanted to state for the record, once again, I'm sorry, Cat. And as soon as we get to Kanto, you will be getting a prime spot. A prime Pokemon pick. Random aside, speaking of so I'm thinking about the Kanto starters specifically here. And one of the things I was thinking about while I was doing some Elite Four planning is, man, Typhlosion does not get any coverage abilities in this game. Not a single move. I can't think of any that aren't either like bad physical moves or fire types. It seems like that's their entire catalog of moves. Like all the other Pokemon I'm looking at bringing to the Elite Four, it's like, okay, I have this move for this coverage, this move for this coverage. And Typhlosion is like, I have Flamethrower. That's it. Like, it genuinely feels like that's the only good move that they're going to have going into that. Which I know is normal. Part of the problem is also that a lot of the good TMs for coverage moves, I was gonna be real mad if that was after all that I forgot to use a repel once and it was a Meryl, I would have been real grumpy and caught a Meryl. But yeah, like, I was thinking about it and it's like, I guess, like, in some of the later ones, I think Typhlosion gets, like, Energy Ball. And I'm pretty sure it can learn Solar Beam. But the TM for Solar Beam is, I'm pretty sure, in Erica's Gym. In Kanto. I was noticing that a lot. A lot of them are a lot of the good TMs that you would normally get from beating a gym leader, they left with the Kanto gym leaders. So, like, you get Rock Slide for beating Brock. Like, okay, but I would really like Rock Slide to beat, or to fight, Lance, you know? I rogue. Okay. So yeah, Tyrogue is actually, depending on how it evolves, can be very useful. I'm really not a big fan of Hitmonlee, but the other two are very good. And I actually used them. The one Pokemon that I sent back had strength, or I just didn't bring somebody with strength. I can do this all from the ladder if I just escape rope out. Which, speaking of escape ropes, so the thing that I did wrong in with the Dragon's Den, for getting the Dratini, is in order to get the Dratini, you have to have a scene with Claire. To get the scene with Claire, you have to walk out of the Dragon's Den. We used an escape rope. The cutscene with Claire gets skipped. So in order to get that cutscene, we now need to go back to Claire in the gym and talk to her. That also gives us the move Dragon Pulse. And that is the main reason I was looking at that. I was like, wait, did I miss getting Dragon Pulse somehow? That's like a really good TM. Because while I was planning for fighting Claire, specifically her Kingdra Kingdra's only weakness that we had access to, we had 2 dragon type moves that we had access to at the time. Twister, which is garbage, and Dragon Pulse, which we don't get until we beat Claire, so we couldn't use it. By the way, this is where we would come out. That's that rock that you need strength to move. PP up. Could be useful. We have got a few moves that are only 5 PP. But yes, my next stop is totally going to be going back and talking to Claire, much the same way that I just did with this. Where it's like, you also need to go and talk to the Elder with 1 slot free. So, we missed 2 things. Not being able to instantly send Pokemon back to your box is travesty. We cannot get the Protector. Must require Rock Climb, which is really unfortunate. So, if we can't get the Protector, that Rhyhorn that I was hoping to use is not going to be able to show up. Which does mean so that helps narrow down my choices a bit. Part of the reason I was looking at that is because Rhyhorn specifically learns the move Rock Slide, which our Golem, who was my other choice, does not learn. Rhyperior is basically just a slightly better Golem. Moves are slightly better, stats are slightly better. Cheese, you're great, but Pokemon. We need Tentacruel for... Do we seriously have to go back through this entire gem? The concept of this gem's puzzle was cool. That doesn't mean I want to do it twice just because I have to go talk to the gym leader. Dragon Pulse. Huge energy. If you don't want it, you don't have to take it. What's the matter? You head to the Pokemon League? Tells me you have some unfinished business. You came from New Barktown. You may want to go back there. Whatever you have to face there will be difficult, but don't you give up. If you do, I'll feel even worse having lost to you. Okay. So there's Dragon Pulse. That's one of the big things. Now, I did not actually go through and check who all can learn Dragon Pulse. However, if we have a good non-dragon Pokemon who can learn Dragon Pulse, that could actually be a huge swing for me as far as my planning goes. Because, Jesus Christ, Lance's team. I mean, we'll get there, so you'll get to see and hear all about it, but it's got, I think, 3 Dragonites, a Gyarados, an Aerodactyl, and what's the last one? Oh, a Charizard. That's why I was looking for rock types. And all of these obviously have to get through the entire Elite Four first. And be useful for those fights as well. I have something for you. Take this Dratini. Awesome. I am going to give all of the Pokemon that I have caught in the last 2 episodes nicknames. I am holding off on it until I get a chance to pull up my list, like I mentioned in the last video. I'm basically just going to be using people who volunteered for the previous run. I think I've only got 2 volunteers left. One of them had dragon type as their preferred Pokemon. So I'm going to see if they want the Tyranitar or the Dratini. And then I'll go through the rest of the list and see if anybody has favorite types from the previous run that they might end up carrying over to, I might be able to carry over to this run. Okay. So, I feel a little bad because I feel like we didn't actually accomplish as much as I would have liked. Okay. We got 8 Pokemon. We got 7 Pokemon, and I have another one here that isn't named. Whatever. This is the part of the reason I was debating about just getting rid of a Pokemon, because it's one of the Lane's favorites, and I was like, should I just blow up this Weezing and give Lane Ampharos instead? I did not. Although Weezing having Explosion is really tempting if I get into a really tough spot in the Elite Four. But then I have to do the rest of the Elite Four with 5. So yeah, we went back to the Dragon's Den. We've gone to... we got Route 44 covered. Mount Mortar, which unfortunately we couldn't get the Protector. We got, let's see, Cianwood City. I still can't figure out Olivine. We got the Cliff Cave. We got Route 48. We skipped 47 for now because we need to be able to fish at Olivine to get the Staryu, to guarantee the seal. And then we ended up with the Larvitar from Safari Zone, which is huge. So next thing is going to be Ecruteak City for the Kimono Girls. I don't know how... There's a part of me that's very intimidated by this fight, and I don't know why. Because it should not be that scary of a fight to fight a bunch of evolutions, but for some reason I am just a little bit nervous about it. They are the highest level Pokemon we've dealt with so far. They're all 38, and it's 5 separate fights back to back, and you always have to start with the same Pokemon, which is part of the problem. So if you can sweep with all of them with 1, that's great, but you're probably gonna have to come up with 2 different Pokemon. You're probably gonna have to be able to switch in with Pokemon as well. So, with all of that out of the way, thank you for watching. We are through all of our backtracking for the time being. Next time we're going to deal with Kimono Girls. If we've still got time, I'll continue on to Whirl Island and we'll catch Lugia. We don't have a Whirl Island encounter. We will totally be rappelling through that and catching Lugia. You only get 1 Master Ball, so I don't feel bad about using legendaries if I can get to them and catch them, which is not always easy. New Barktown after that, and then we head over to the Elite Four. Got our final rival fight, which I really should probably play in that one too. Got the Victory Road, where we can get our Rhyhorn that I can't evolve yet. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing up this part of the game. But I'm even more excited that we still have Kanto left. Even though there's not actually story in the Kanto region, if I remember correctly. So we're going to be basically just moving quickly from gym to gym and busting everything up. Maybe catching a few Pokemon to cover gaps if we need to. Because I believe all of those are I don't think they're all exactly the same level cap, but I'm pretty much just going to be treating them as one level cap. And then we've got the Elite Four refight and Mount Silver at the very end. And those are the ones that I am the most excited and the most nervous about. Like, to me, that is the thing that makes this, like, there are parts of this Nuzlocke that are not super hard. This game is, the regular encounters in this game are not super hard. But I think both Elite Fours and Mount Silver are going to be extremely challenging, and I am looking forward to it. Hopefully you are as well. If you are, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. If you want to sign up and have Pokemon named after you, make sure you fill out the form. I will have already named these Pokemon by the time this video goes up, because I record in advance, but there will probably still be some left, and honestly, I might not go through and I might not name all of them for the ones that I'm not planning on using right now. We'll see. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.